Okay, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing, man? For those who tuned in, like who were in like last night for the watch party, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out. That's something I'm wanting to do now every Wednesday. I like staying up late with you guys and just kicking it and watching, you know, the most recent episode of the Book of Boba Fett. It's been really fun. So I, for one, have really been enjoying that. And you guys sound off in the chat. Let me know how you guys are liking that. But I, for one, think it's really fun. Um, man, woo! Let's talk about last night's episode. Was morning, should I say? Man. So this is going to be a recap. I think that's what this stream is going to be. This stream is going to be a recap, breakdown, breakthrough, spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the Book of Boba Fett, the most recent episode, yeah, spoiler warning. We're talking about all the goods, everything. This is probably one of my favorite episodes so far. I know there's only two, but this one, I mean, man, they just, man, it was really good. Now, yeah. Before we get into the episode, let me check on chat to see how everyone's doing. Hi, Spider-Man, Spider-Lorian. Remember me? I'm still Dadalorian. I'm still Dadalorian. The name is changing back within a week or so. So it was just a temporary name change for December. And what's up? Hello to everyone tuning in. I love it. Remember me? It's me from a long time ago. Hi, you from a long time ago. Thanks for being here, man. I'm live here on TikTok and on YouTube. For those who are interested in doing Q&A, you're more than welcome to join on YouTube as well. I can pop you in and we can do the damn thing. It'll be really fun. So let's kick it off, man. Last night's watch party was great. I really enjoyed it. Before I got into the episode, I rewatched. I mean, that was probably like the fourth or fifth time I've rewatched the first episode. You know, so I was just gearing up. You know, and you always catch something new that you didn't. You know, the previous time you watched. Same thing with the Star Wars movies. I'm the same way with that. You know, you learn something new like every time you watch. You know, one of the projects. So anyway, let's kick it off. Wow. So the beginning of this episode, you know, we have Boba and Fennec Shan. You know, they have the guy that was basically sent to assassinate, you know, Boba Fett. Right? They captured him, and Fennec Shan brings them in, and they're questioning him, and then they kind of tease the Rancor. You know, because you know, in Jabba's palace, he used to have the Rancor in the dungeon. You know, so I thought I was like, wait, could they have gotten a new one? I mean, it's possible. You know, I don't know how rare Rancors are to find. You know, in the galaxy, but you know, it was funny that they kind of still teased at that. But you know, of course, it wasn't there. But the guy still ended up telling them all the intel that they needed to know. That it was the mayor who hired him, you know, to basically, try to assassinate or intimidate whatever, a Boba Fett. So they go to visit the mayor, and we see that same, the creepy Twi'lek dude, who's there, and then before you even meet him, you see some guy who, looks like he works at Office Depot or Freddy's. I don't know, one of the two, whatever you want to call it. He's got the mustache and the long hair, and very just into his job, very proper, and it was very funny, very nerdy kind of guy. And then you have the Twi'lek. I always say Twi'lek. I'm sure it's probably fine either way, but you have the Twi'lek gentleman who walked in, and Boba Fett just walks past him, goes straight into the mayor's office, and he's like, damn well who I am. And he, it's like, hey, you should have given me tribute a long time ago. Now, in the midst of their conversation, this mayor seems interesting. I'm sure at this point, I don't think it was the mayor that sent the assassination out for Boba Fett. I think it was, the assassination hit or intimidation, whatever you want to call it. They may not have been trying to assassinate him, but clearly they weren't trying to befriend him. So I say assassination. But anyway, it's clear that the mayor of Tatooine kind of knows something is going on. So he sends them to, he sends Boba, like he said, hey, go check out the cantina, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Since you still think it's me that put that hit on her. You sure about that? You sure it was me? And Boba's like, what the hell are you talking about? So he goes to the cantina, and then he sees Miss Fine, good looking twee leg lady. I'm crushing on her hard, man. She's yeah. That is Bay right there. And I love Twi'leks, man. I do. It's a thing, and I need to be contained. But yeah, I'm crushing hard on that lady. I don't even know her name. I should look up the character's name. But anyway, she seems to be kind of frantic and not completely herself, where she seems a little stressed out. Boba can tell, like, she's sweating, like, what's going on, and she's like, see for yourself. And you start hearing this ominous sound of drums playing, and you're like, okay, some shit's about to go down. Like, what is happening? Like the drums, and you're like, okay, something's happening outside. Boba walks out, and then across the corner, you see the twins, and the twins are the Huts. You have these two Huts that come up, and I was like, yo, oh shit, it's about to go down. Because if you know anything about the Huts are very powerful in the world of the underground crime world. Like, they always have been. They've always kind of had a strong hold on crime world stuff. Like, that's what the Huts are mainly known for, right? So we see that they're kind of parading down the street, coming to come chat with Boba. And he's like, look, you have no rights to the land here, Jabba's palace. I took over it. I killed the most recent owner, Bib Fortuna. Since Jabba is gone, it is now rightfully mine. And, obviously they have some disagreements, but at the same time, they're like, there needs to be no bloodshed over business right now. So sleep well, bounty hunter. And I love how they keep throwing that in other instances within even the mayor, kind of just called Boba Fett. There's a difference in running a family business. That was one of the lines I really liked. He was like, there's a difference in running a family business versus just being a bounty hunter. And I think obviously that's some of the struggle that we're able to see with Boba Fett is, yeah, he's got he doesn't consider himself a bounty hunter anymore, but the galaxy knows that reputation of him. But stepping into crime lord and running a business is, I think we're going to see the growing pains, of that with Boba Fett. Why don't I take my headphones off? I'm not even using them right now. Anyway, so I really like that line. I thought that was cool. But okay, so aside from that, let me share my screen. Let me type it out. What's his name again? Damn it, what is his name? Black. What is that Wookiee's name? He, I was first introduced to him, in the Dr. Aphra comics. Black. Oh no, yeah, there it is. Black. Wookie. I think that's how you say his name. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, yeah, if you've seen the episode, but it's this guy right here. So let's just pull up a bigger image of him wherever he is. Cool. So this guy, Black Cranston. I think that's how you say his name, right? Black. Uh, wait. Black. Cran. I'm assuming the S is silent. Black Cranton. Granton? I don't know. Anyway, he's the bounty hunter, Wookiee, and I was first introduced to him in the Dr. Aphra comics, So I was like, yo, that's really cool. This is our first time seeing this character in live action, which is really cool. Which also makes me wonder. I could be completely wrong, but that lady that we've seen in the Book of Boba Fett trailer, I wonder if that's Dr. Aphra. I always imagined her being kind of like, of Asian descent, the character, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm like now it's got me wondering like, are we gonna see her kind of put into this? The War of the Bounty Hunter stuff, is that going to kind of tie into the Book of Boba Fett? I don't know. I don't know. It's possible, very quite possible for sure. And for those of you guys who are reading the War of the Bounty Hunters, maybe you can attest more to that. Um, so anyway, I thought it was really cool that we were able to see this guy, show up. And let me check on my chat before I continue going on. On TikTok, someone says, "Daddy, hey yo." I asked Google why I'm single. She responded by operating the front camera. What? Have you watched the second episode this morning? Yes, I have. That is exactly what we're talking about in this stream. Um, how are you so smart? I don't know, man. I have a lot of knowledge that's sometimes useful, and that's it. That's it. But hey, I did change a tire today. That was cool, and helped my wife put together a new TV stand that we got. So I've had my little house projects, which has been fun. How's Baby Yoda doing? Baby Yoda is training with Luke Skywalker. So anyway, I thought it was cool seeing this guy, and it makes me wonder, like, again, if any of you guys are reading War of the Bounty Hunters, maybe you can attest more to that, where it's like, yeah, we're definitely going to see some of those events and consequences of those events kind of trickle off into this story. I wonder if that's a possibility. So anyway, I thought it was really cool to see that character as well, and the Huts. The intimidation that you feel, that ominous feeling that you feel when the Huts, and they're just these giant, kind of nasty slug creatures, like Jabba was, but there's still something intimidating about them. The way that they carry themselves, and the way that other people are affected. You can see visually, whenever they're on scene, it's like, man, that's pretty badass. Now, what I'm looking forward to is that moment when Boba becomes that. You know what I mean? Where it's still respected, but whenever he walks into that cantina, whenever he walks on the streets, people kind of stand still and they're like, oh shit, it's Boba Fett. You know what I mean? So I look forward to seeing that. I don't know if they were really foreshadowing that in any sense, with the Huts. But again, I look forward to seeing Boba eventually transform into that feared figure as well. I think that's kind of cool. So anyway, going on, man. Aside from that, he goes back into the back to tank. It's official, back to tank scenes. You can just count on that being like, those are going to be your flashback scenes, pretty much. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that. I love that. Now, in the flashback scenes, we get more now of him respectfully training with the Tusken Raiders. And I think it's a lady that's kind of like his main trainer, but she's just completely a badass, this Tusken Raider. She smacked the shit out of Boba in the beginning. When they're training with the staffs and he did it wrong, and she just smacked him good. It was hilarious. But anyway, she's a complete badass, and I love the action was definitely on point. Yeah, the action is incredible in both of these episodes so far. But I really enjoyed seeing the training. And I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to say it again later. I enjoy seeing a different aspect of the Tusken Raiders, like seeing, just seeing them in a different light versus these crazy sand people who sometimes have slaves and whatnot. Like it's cool to see that there's a spiritual aspect to them as well. So I'm gonna get to that later. But anyway, we basically you have some pirates, who are kind of terrorizing the town, and Boba sees that they're kind of riding on speeder bikes, and he gets an idea, and he's like, okay, if you guys give me a stick and a blaster, I can go take care of those guys. I can make sure they don't do that again, basically, right? And he goes overnight and he says, I'll return by morning. And in my brain, I was like, yo, honestly, he could have just took a speeder bike and dipped. Like, if he wanted to. If he didn't care about being loyal to the Tusken Raiders, honestly, he really could have done that. Where it's like, you know what, I got a speeder bike now. I'm good. I don't need to stay here anymore. I can go take a fresh back to shower or something, But anyway, obviously he ended up returning, which I think was still cool as well, equally. So anyway, what I liked about that bar scene, where you have these pirates who are kind of terrorizing this part of the town of Tatooine. And Boba walks in. He doesn't have any armor. He just has a blaster, and he's got his staff. And I think that whole scene really showed you, like, remember like Spider-Man Homecoming, where Peter Parker was like, I'm nothing without this suit. Like, I need this suit. And then Tony Stark was like, well, if you're nothing without it, then you shouldn't have it at all, right? I think it was kind of one of those moments where it was like, we really seen that Boba Fett is the guy that's behind the armor, the guy that's under the helmet. The armor, the Beskar, all that stuff, the flamethrower, the jetpack, all of that is an exterior to who Boba Fett is. But in this particular scene, what was painted for me, it was like, hey, let's show you who Boba Fett is, why he is such a badass, and why he should be feared, and why he is capable. And I thought that was just excellent. I thought that was delivered well, man. I really just I enjoyed that. Like, I feel like I got the message. At least that's what I kind of got from that scene, which I thought was really cool. And he whooped everybody's ass. It was great. So and I'm telling you, I know this is the second episode in, but I'm still in awe that we're able to have this much time with Boba Fett. Looking back on the character and kind of his first introduction into Star Wars, he really didn't do much. So this is great that we're actually getting character development. We're actually able to get screen time. We're actually able to get lines for this character and really see him shine, the way we've always wanted to. So yeah, that whole bar scene was great. I love bar fights, especially in Star Wars. That was fantastic. Trying to think. Aside from that, after that, he returns back to the Tusken Raiders. He shows them how to use the speeder bikes, and that's basically how they stop this train that runs through. It's like this train that eventually we learn is running spice. You got some spice runners in there. So anyway, and the Pikes are a part of that. So you end up seeing the Pikes and Tusken Raiders and the Pikes and Boba Fett. They're all going at it, and that's how they end up stopping the train, is with the speeder bikes. Boba shows them how to do that, and as they eventually they take down the train, they beat up the Pikes and send them on their way. Um, and it's just interesting. Like, after that, then we get into more of this spiritual aspect of the Tusken Raiders, like I was saying earlier, where they basically gift him, because he helped them out, so that they ended up gifting him with something. And he's like, they give him a lizard, and then they blow something into Boba's face, and then the lizard goes inside his nose and, like, inside his brain. It was like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. It was kind of gross. Makes me want to blow my nose just thinking about it. So anyway, it must be some hallucinogen or some type of mystic spiritual thing that they do, in terms of their own rituals and whatnot, which I thought was really cool and interesting. So anyway, you start, as you kind of see him, like, kind of fading out and hallucinating a little bit. You see, like, these moments of where he's in his armor and he's not in his armor, and he's going on this long walk throughout the desert. But you also see the ocean. It's very, like, metaphoric and interesting. Like, he's reaching inside himself for something else. Which I thought it was really cool. I thought that whole scene was really fun and something different that we haven't really explored in Star Wars. And it was really cool to see that again, another side of the Tusken Raiders that we've never seen before. And I'm going to touch more on this later, because towards the end there's something that made me think of the comics. So I'll talk about that, the Darth Vader comics in particular. So anyway, going on after that, Boba ends up coming back, like, the next morning. The hallucinations, or spiritual stuff, is kind of taking its course, and he comes back with this big ass wooden branch. And it seems like this is a part of their traditions, and their rituals and whatnot as Tusken Raiders. And they end up like, making him a weapon, their classic, Tusken Raider weapons. And what's up to everyone popping in? So he ends up getting his own weapon, which I thought was really fun. And then the lizard comes out of his brain and whatnot, which was still gross. But it was kind of cool to see, like, oh, the process of how they make and forge their weapons is very like it's very different. It's very out there. It's very spiritual. But I really dug it, man. I thought that that was really fun. Um, and then he gets his new garments. They hook my boy up with some new clothes, and that's kind of how we see him really in the Mandalorian when he first makes his appearance there. That seems to be the look that he carries on. So I'm sure now after this point we'll start to see some of those things eventually where he sees Cobb Vanth. I'm sure we're going to see some of that in those flashbacks, and then when he sees Din Djarin. So I just thought it was really cool. And then at the very end, you kind of have like this almost like battle ritual dance that Boba does with the Tusken Raiders that I thought was really cool. And that's what made me think of the comics. In the Darth Vader comics, if anyone has read those, there's this moment where Vader was on Tatooine and, he's messing stuff up, destroys rebels and whatnot. It's crazy. But anyway, at the end, the Tusken Raiders, they had seen Vader and kind of seen him in action. And at the end of one of the comics, the Tusken Raiders, it's like they built like out of sticks and you know hay and whatnot. It looked like either the body or helmet of Vader, kind of like in remembrance of him in a sense, and they like lit it on fire. And they were all kind of circled around it. And I don't know why that ritualistic dance at the end kind of made me think of that. It just, I don't know. Same energy, even though I know it was a different situation, but it was like still same energy for me, which I thought was pretty fun. Erica, what's up, girl? Good to see you. We got a very lo-fi vibe today. So I might not be on too long. Which is fine. I'll just stream for a little bit and call it chill. So anyway, I thought that was really fun. And man, yeah, I think now for sure this sets up for things, and especially for his, well, number one with the Huts, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with that. And a lot of it is really in this world that he's in. A lot of it is, earning your respect, but also having a balance between respect and being feared. I think in that world he has to have a balance of both. And I'm excited to see when Boba Fett walks into a room. I'm excited to see people, kind of, essentially, kind of shit their pants and be, kind of sweating on the edge because it's like, yo, this guy, he's the real deal. My day is going good. Just talking about Boba Fett and yeah, man. Uh, that's pretty much it. I think our stream will be pretty short today. I'm not gonna do like a full hour. Um, Not unless we have like a bigger crew. I just wanted to talk about the Book of Boba Fett. Plus, I'd already done watch party earlier this morning, so that was fun watching it with you guys. I encourage you guys, if you guys want on Wednesdays, definitely come and hang out with me here on YouTube. I will be doing the watch parties for the Book of Boba Fett every Wednesday. And hello to everyone else tuning in on TikTok. So yeah, man, there's probably some other things I missed, but I feel like I talked about the gist of everything. So yeah, Book of Boba Fett episode 2 was fantastic. Chapter 2. So make sure you guys go and check that out. Also, as far as books go, how was the filming for the Book of Bo-Katan? Um, the Book of Bo-Katan. What? Are you talking about the fan film that I'm in? The Bo-Katan fan film? That one's called The Prodigal Daughter. And everything that I filmed is done. So all the scenes that I was in is done. But I think the film itself, there's still small shots, at least that I know of, that they're still doing. But it's going to be coming to us this year. So once I get word on when, I will let you guys know. And we'll definitely do like a watch party for sure, so we can all watch it together. And Star Wars books. I just picked this up today at Barnes and Noble. I was trying to find the audiobook. I mean, I could have bought it on audiobook, but physical copy was fine too. So I've heard nothing but good things about this. So I'm excited to read that. This is my sorry, TikTok. Next read. Next read is this one. So I'm really excited for that. Other than that, man, yeah. Let's get into some caption stuff. Again, I am partnering with Saint Neo. So make sure you guys go and check them out. If you're looking for a lightsaber, use my coupon code DADALORIAN at checkout. And if you guys are new to the channel on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. The goal is to get to 10K by this year. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen. So I think that's pretty much it for now, you guys. I'm going to end it pretty short for today. But I may go live again later on TikTok, come hang out for a little bit. So, once we get a little more people in, we can kind of play it by ear and hang out. It's snowing and it's cold. So, you guys be good. Go watch the Book of Boba Fett again. If you've seen it, go watch it again. I might watch it again later because why not, man? Why not? So, yeah, you guys be good. And I will see you later for another stream on TikTok.